Let's talk about BD Wong. I was gonna make a joke, but I'm like, I ain't gonna start no stereotype. 'Cause I was gonna say Big Dick Wong, but then they say some Asians don't have big dick, but I've encountered a few, so I can't even use that lie. But anyway, or that stereotype. But anyway, apparently, speaking of stereotypes, BD Wong is getting called out for incorporating a stereotype in a recent post that he did. And he went and did a whole apology on Threads, and people are looking at him like, child, you could pay it, including Kevin Ortega Rojas. He went in on him. But and we'll go through those comments in a second. But he did issue a lengthy apology on Threads. So the Law and Order SVO Mulan star recently shared a two-part apology after being called out for making a racist joke on Instagram. Wong initially responded to a post by content creator Mike Holston, who is black, asking his 16 million followers to name this animal. Wrong answers only, because he had like he had an animal on his shoulders. It was like a binturong. I don't know what the hell that is. It must be something out of Australia or something or another. But anyway, so yeah, then they said in the now deleted comment on the video depicting Holston petting a happy looking binturong, which rambled around his shoulders, Wong wrote, "It appears to be a black man." Mm-mm. See, that was me and my Wendy Williams giggle after I done read the offensive thing. Now, on Monday, the same day that Holston shared his post, Wong wrote in on the text-based Instagram analog Threads, "Y'all, I made a very bad joke, as most people in hot water do. I deleted it for damage control, but it's out there and continues to hurt and disappoint, and I'm really sorry about the hurt part. Super dumb, but I tried to follow the wrong answers only prompt with the wrong answer. This succeeded only in that it was super wrong. I know nobody gets a free pass. I'm sorry if this hashtag WTFBD moment tarnished any respect you may have had for me. And thanks if you advocate for an internet that's safe for everybody." Where there's the apology? Like me reading that, I'm like, where's the apology? Y'all, I made a bad and then don't even get me started because I had to windmill on a couple of people on social media because there was some that was like, he made a mistake. Y'all should forgive him. And I'm like, that's not your. And it was it was a lot of white people that was doing it too. And it's like, this ain't y'all fight. It's not your argument. And shout out to those of the people that was in the Threads comments. White women, a lot of white people that was saying it also. So I'm not gonna windmill on all the white people, but there was some white people that was like, this ain't our fight. Mind your business. Stand back, and stand by. Remember that line that Trump gave? Stand back, mind your business. Let these people over there handle what they handling. And what I said to some of the white people, you're not black. You don't get to determine what someone else could say to someone of color when you are not a person of color. And we've come into this time of like, because of this current administration, that people don't like being told what they can and cannot say to somebody. And it's just like, whatever happened to understanding the difference between right or wrong? Yeah, he said something that he shouldn't have said, but that half-ass apology is a mess. But anyway, let me actually pull up, because I was like, let's entertain this mess. Let's go over to the threads and see what the people are saying. So one person said, white people shut TF up. Who are y'all to accept an apology on the behalf of the black community? Mind your own pilgrim business. God damn. It said white people will decide what is racist and what is not racist. We're the deciders of everything. I do agree with that, with some of them, not all. Another person says, shut up, fellow white people. This isn't our apology to accept. See, look, a white person coming out and saying this, God, you people are insufferable. Just sit down at STFU. Accepting an apology on behalf of the African American community feels racist as well. Not your place. And here they got Kai with the goddamn gavel. Somebody said, apology not accepted. Oh, wait, hold on. I did not want to close that. I don't like this whole setup. But another person said, I think the white people in the comments giving blanket forgiveness should take 5 steps back. This ain't about us. Instead, listen to the black commenters who are sharing how hurtful and deep this hits. And that's why I think people get it misconstrued, because it's like, no, it don't sound like you was sorry. Based off of what I read, it did not sound like an apology. It sounded like I took it down. I was just trying to follow what the thing said. It was like you was throwing an excuse behind this so-called apology. One person said, respectfully eat shit. Or, my favorite line from from oh my God, Sleepaway Camp. Eat shit and die. And then Ricky says, eat shit and live. That's like one of my favorite lines from that damn movie. But one person said, you gonna save enough for him? And and then this person responded respectfully, I have enough for you too, the fuck. Y'all better leave black people alone with this conversation. Um, then one a white woman says, apologize to black people. Another person said, funny how Asians think they're closer to white than black. I'm glad somebody wrote this in here because I was going to get to that. They think they're closer to white than black, but magically forget that during COVID, white people finally showed you how they think of you and even assaulted your people. I will never understand how Asians are racist when white people hate you too. And don't even get me started on that because last I checked, BD, close. Remember that time when you was bitching out here because of that that show Maybe Happy Ending that Darren Criss is in, and how you got pissed off because they went and they replaced Darren Criss, who was Filipino, with a white actor. Well, now it's changed because the white actor is gone and they brought Darren Criss back, probably because them damn ticket sales was in the toilet and they were doing whatever they could to save that situation. But you up in here, your Chinese ass had the unlitigated gall to pen an open letter criticizing the casting of a white actor in the Maybe Happy Ending. So until it affects you, because this is why I always say it always rotates around that. You only give a damn when it affects you. That's when a lot of y'all care and want us to have empathy for y'all. But you can't understand like what you said was ignorant. And I'm not surprised that he would say something like that because don't he have a white husband? A lot of these Asian homosexuals that they like all that rice queen chasing mess. Don't even get me started on that. And I can say all this because I'm half Asian. I'm Filipino as well. So I can say all of this. So now, to put it simply, Asian actors in the Asian theater-going community are fiercely wrestling over a non-Asian actor replacing the Asian male lead in the Broadway musical Maybe Happy Ending. Please Google this responsibly. This is a real eternal outcry about race and representation, not an irrational rant about robots. And so you want us to feel for you when it comes to the race stuff. It's the same thing I said, and I hate to have to hit you with this stray. But it's the same thing that I said when it came to Simu Liu, when he was out here complaining over the lack of Asian representation on cinema. And all of a sudden, I said, well, now you know what it feels like for black actors when they were saying the same, when we were having the same conversation. Now y'all are having it. I mean, things have gotten slightly better for black actors and performers because there's a lot more content, and we have a lot more powerful people in places that can make content for black people. Asian people outside of the martial arts stuff, I know y'all trying to get into the other genres, the rom-coms and all that other stuff. Y'all still got a long way to go, but BD, this if this is your apology, this ain't it. Just just stay away from the internet. Child, not this one. This one is so messy. I feel like reading it. One person says, since we're gonna stereotype, his micro penis isn't sorry. As someone already pointed out, and I'll reiterate, you don't issue a half-ass apology and then go and like a comment that implies reverse racism, which doesn't exist. See below. But this isn't surprising seeing how Asians are literally obsessed with Eurocentric beauty standards, proximity to whiteness, and accepting the model minority myth. Especially when you look at a lot of those K-pop stars and the anime characters and stuff, how they be trying to make them white people, them Asians look white with the blonde hair and all that other mess. So this guy says, so behalf of my community, fuck you, your apology, and the dumbass rube you agreed with. Because this person put, to be fair, if it were a white man in the photo, I would have said white man and none would have blinked at all. I hope this is the same energy. Here y'all go, wanting to be fucking victims. So goddamn bad. Oh yeah, so I want to show y'all because that was yeah. Hold on, because now this is for context. Y'all need to see the post. Hold on, I don't know why I closed it. I should have kept it open. I wish I would have saw that earlier. But anyway, we live. It is what it is. So yeah, that's the post. This clear person decided to post this foolishness. y'all been wanting to be victims so goddamn bad. They want to be oppressed so bad. Pilgrims and colonizers want to be oppressed so bad. And y'all already know up in here, I'm not talking about all white people. I'm talking about motherfuckers like him. So yeah, so we have that. And what made it worse, because somebody took a screenshot. Shout out to y'all that be keeping the evidence. They show BD. You probably can't even see it. But right here it says Wong BD, blue check mark. He actually liked the comment. So that's where that came from. When you want to be out here shouting reverse racism, which yeah, that don't exist, sir. So yeah, those are the comments. That's the whole story. And at the end of the day, I don't feel like it was racist. I mean, I don't think it was a bad joke. It was just straight up racist. And I feel like you showed your true colors in that moment and you gagging because your ass got called out. So I'll say all this to say, and I like BD Wong. I loved him when he was on Law and Order SVU. Even liked him back in the day when I first came across him. He was on All American Girl playing Margaret Cho's brother. That's where I knew him from. Yeah, I took y'all way back. That show lasted one season, but I remember watching it because the way I was, anything that showed representation of other people, I would always be like, you know what? And this was the '90s, so the '90s was a good time because that was a time when we really started to see more diverse things come out on television, particularly when it came to black shows and all this other stuff. So anything new and different, I always jumped on the internet. On internet, I jumped on and watched it. I supported it. But then we got fools like this saying this mess. So yeah, I definitely want to hear from y'all. Do you think BD's tired along with his damn apology? Or if you want to call it that, what are your overall thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments down below.